What's going on? It's your man Andy Mineo, and right now you're watching G Time TV.
Yeah, I think I got too comfortable. I think I got too comfortable. Yeah, I think I know I got a little too comfortable. I want this album to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed.
To comfort the disturbed is like for those, for those who are disturbed in the sense of, what I'm saying, beaten up by life, like pressed down, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
shaken up. You know what I'm saying? I hope that my words of transparency and my words of hope would be a comfort to them. In the same sense, for those who have grown comfortable and complacent, I hope that my words would shake them up and cause them to, to see the danger that they could potentially be in through selfish comforts and not being and doing everything that God's called them to do. When it comes to making music with me, there's not a single song that I don't touch. Every song I touch in some way, whether that's through arrangement, whether that's adding a sound, adding a bass line. I'm very involved with the process, steering or directing the producers. And actually, there's a lot of records that I didn't get quote unquote production credit on. I think some of that is just because, I don't want to step in and take some of those producer royalties. Because it is my record, so I'm already getting, points and things like that. And I feel that as a collaborative record, that's why I don't push myself onto the production credit side. But yeah, man, like that's one of the things about me as an artist is that I'm very hands-on. So no one will ever just hand me a beat and then I just rap on it and it's over.
Yeah.
There's always some kind of change or alteration or rearrangement happening in the production side for me, and that's because I have so many ideas. Like you'll usually get a beat from a producer, and it's usually just a skeleton. Like nobody's trying to hand me a fully produced and finished song. They're trying to send me ideas, and then we collaborate together. So I've touched almost every song on that album in some way, shape, or form. But big shout out to all the producers, that came through. Illmind, who executive produced it, Alex Medina, Gavi, Black Knight, so many incredible producers. Wit and 42 North from here in Philadelphia. I mean, collectively, man, they came together and smashed the sound of this project.
Yeah, cause Pac did a lot more for me than Barack. Salute.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, that one might be a controversial one because I think, no matter what side of the spectrum you stand on when it comes to Barack Obama, I think people are going to think that I'm talking specifically about Barack Obama. And I think that's the tough part because I'm not necessarily, like, I don't have any beefs with Barack. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I have, like, literally a vendetta against him. But I used his name as symbolism, and even Tupac as symbolism, to say Pac did a lot more for me than Barack. If you listen to the record, I explain it. But it's essentially just me saying, like, artists have always done more for me than institutions or government or even, like, public school. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Because the artists were the people that were my kind of role models. And I think that there's some irony there that, like, Tupac in a lot of ways you could say was a quote unquote bad role model, while someone like Barack Obama would be kind of more ideal. The funny part is, the ones who really influence the culture are the ones who can relate to us and who create art. And it's kind of speaking to the power of art. That's why I say, Mr. a Mrs. Government official, we just won't listen. You can't relate to how we live in from where you're sitting. That's why the artist got more influence than the politician. Because we can relate to the rappers. We can relate to the artists and the songwriters and the singers. But a lot of times the politicians, the ones who are actually supposed to be leading our country, are so disconnected from what's happening in real life and in culture that it's hard for us to connect with them and feel like that they really have our best interest. So those are writing archetypes. You know what I'm saying? They're not literal, and I think people who take that literal are gonna get offended and get themselves in a bunch. But
Mhm.
that's why I write music. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be translated, and
Mhm.
you take it in and make it what you want.
Nobody told me you could die like this. Nobody told me
That's the beauty of creating a body of work. Is like,
Mhm.
out of those 13 songs, I never know what's gonna reach somebody where they're at.
Mhm.
Because each person's gonna have their own life experience and be in a different place. And that song, track 12 or something that I was just like, oh, it was just a fun record. Someone will run up to me at a live show and be like, that song changed my life. I'll be like, cool, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So impact is really relative. But what I want to see happen from this album is I want meaningful conversations to be started from this album. And that's an impact or a win that I'm looking for.
wave my American flag, even though it got main China on the tag.
That's a tough question, man. Um, who's a great singer and songwriter is Bruno Mars, man.
Mhm.
Bruno Mars is a great singer and songwriter. That'd be great to get to work with him. I also really like this girl named Kimbra,
Don't know.
and I think she'd be super dope to work with too. Yeah, 116. It stands for Romans 1:16,
Yeah.
and that says, "I'm unashamed of the gospel, for it's the power of God for salvation for anyone who believes, first the Jew and then the Gentile." But what that means for me to be unashamed, there's so many things. I think a lot of people think that being unashamed just means to be rowdy and loud about their faith, and I wear the T-shirt and I kick in the door, and that's not all of what that means. I think to live an unashamed life is, I think it's definitely a life of boldness and a life that doesn't back away from what it means to be a follower of Jesus. But at the same time, man, it stands for so much more. I think it stands for a humility. I'm unashamed to tell people that I'm sinful, that I'm broken, that the hope that I offer the world through Jesus, is something that's not just for them; it's for me every day too. Um, to live unashamed, is to live boldly in this world for Jesus, because we know that He boldly died for us to give us a bold hope and a bold future. And I think that's what that means for me.
It's kinda crazy, it's kinda crazy.
My bucket list,
Yeah, someone else.
man.
I need to
Yo,
ask
to
it.
be honest, I've done so much stuff in my 27 years of life. I've gone skydiving. I've visited almost every continent in the world. There's been a lot. God's been really gracious to let me experience a lot so young. So there's not many things, but next year, me and my wife, we would really love to go to Italy, and I think that's on my bucket list, is to get to Italy and go ahead and ride, through Venice, the gondola ride. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a bucket list situation. Not much, really. Not really listening to anything. I mean, a couple new records just came out, and I always like get them and skim them just to see what's going on. But I'm not like actively listening to anything. Kind of just letting my ears rest. You know.
You're tired.
Yeah. I'm not listening to much, man. I'm listening to sermons. I'm listening to, like classic rock. You know what I'm saying? Just like whatever I'm in the mood for. But here's the other thing too: is I live in New York City, so I'm not driving around in a car a lot. And I think that's where a lot of people get their music listening done. So I get my music listening maybe when I'm in the shower, and I put on a song or two.
Yeah.
That Justin Bieber, "What do you mean?" That record is all over the place, I can't escape that,
Yeah, I think I got too comfortable. I think I got too comfortable. Yeah, I think I got